The GOP delays Kavanaugh for a one-week FBI investigation. Over 50 million people are exploited by Facebook, and OU gears up for one of its biggest rivalries of the year. This is OU Nightly.
Has not been allowed to investigate because why? This president is afraid. This president is afraid of the truth.
Day 2 of drama in D.C., and tonight we will know that the FBI is going to take a deeper look into Judge Kavanaugh's past. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Nicole Nielson.
And I'm Parker Thune. More fireworks today as Congress debates the nomination of Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court.
Over the past few weeks, 3 women have come forward accusing Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct or assault. One of them, Christine Blasey Ford, testified on Thursday about what she says Kavanaugh did to her at a party they both attended while in high school. Judge Kavanaugh also testified, denying all accusations. This morning, the Senate Judiciary Committee passed Judge Kavanaugh's nomination onto the full Senate. But there is a catch.
OU Nightly's own Storme Jones has had a front seat to history in Washington, D.C. He joins us from the nation's capital with a look at today's events.
And it was a contentious vote just down the street at the U.S. Capitol, but a victory for President Donald Trump here at the White House as Judge Brett Kavanaugh moves one step closer to becoming a U.S. Supreme Court justice. Yesterday, Arizona Republican Senator Jeff Flake refused to answer questions on the way to a Senate Judiciary Committee meeting, and today, before casting an important vote to move the nomination forward, he was stopped by protesters.
I was sexually assaulted and nobody believed me. I didn't tell anyone, and you're telling all women that they don't matter, that they should just stay quiet.
Today, Flake and 10 other Republicans voted in favor of sending the Kavanaugh nomination to the full Senate. However, Flake added his name to a long list of Democrats calling for an FBI investigation.
And I think it would be proper to delay the floor vote for up to, but not more than 1 week.
Oklahoma Senator Jim Inhofe tweeted his support following yesterday's hearing, saying it's time to confirm Judge Kavanaugh. In a statement, Senator James Lankford takes it a step farther, saying it was apparent that Dr. Ford experienced a terrible sexual assault as a youth, but there is no evidence that Judge Kavanaugh was the person who assaulted her. Lankford says he, too, will vote to confirm Kavanaugh. While the vote passed out of committee today, it's likely but not certain Kavanaugh will be confirmed by the full U.S. Senate. Key Republican holdouts Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine joined Democrat Joe Manchin from West Virginia, reportedly meeting behind closed doors following yesterday's testimony that stretched well into the evening here in Washington. We're told Jeff Flake was also at that meeting. And Republicans can only afford to lose one vote out of their caucus in order for this confirmation to pass the Senate. With House members heading back to their districts to campaign for midterm elections, it's certain all eyes next week will be on the Senate and this lifetime appointment. In Washington, D.C., Storme Jones, OU Nightly.
And Senator Flake did get his request. The GOP has agreed to allow up to 1 week for the FBI to complete a background check on Kavanaugh.
And no surprise when it comes to the president's reactions to today's events. Scott Haas joins us from the News Center with more on Trump's perspective and other national headlines today. Scott?
Christine Blasey Ford and her credibility, as well as the credibility of Brett Kavanaugh, in a meeting today with the president of Chile.
I thought her testimony was very compelling, and she looks like a very fine woman to me. Very fine woman. And I thought that Brett's testimony, likewise, was really something that I haven't seen before. It was incredible.
This came before the GOP announced that they will request an FBI background investigation into credible allegations that will last no longer than 1 week. It is to be seen what the Senate or FBI deem as credible. And Facebook announced today that there was an attack on the network that exposed nearly 50 million users' personal information. The company claims that the attacks exploit a bug in their site's View As feature. Facebook discovered the breach earlier this week and has since patched the issue and has said that there is no need to change passwords over this incident. Facebook did have to forcefully log out of 90 million Facebook accounts, a common safety measure taken when accounts have been compromised. The Indonesian island of Sulawesi was shaken by a magnitude 7.5 earthquake on Friday, causing a 10-foot tall tsunami to sweep away at least 2. Several people have been killed, and some families have been reported missing as smartphone video shows waves completely destroying houses in its path. A tsunami warning was initially issued for the area, but was lifted before the tsunami actually hit the island. And Parker, accused witness to the Ford sexual assault, Mark Judge, has agreed to cooperate with the FBI probe after refusing to testify before the Judicial Committee.
Thank you, Scott. And the U.S. Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against the estate of a late Oklahoma City area landlord. The suit alleges that Walter Ray Pelfrey sexually harassed and coerced female tenants of his rental properties for at least 16 years. Pelfrey passed away in July, and the lawsuit claims that his estate now assumes liability for his immoral practices. He had been mired in plenty of legal trouble before his death as well, including another sexual harassment suit that he settled in 2016.
And Tesla may not have Elon Musk behind the wheel much longer. The Securities and Exchange Commission has asked a federal court to remove Musk as Tesla's chairman and CEO.
The SEC's complaint, which was filed earlier today in federal district court in the Southern District of New York, seeks a finding that Musk committed securities fraud.
The alleged security fraud took place in a false statement made by Musk on August 7th, stating that funding had been secured for Tesla to go private at $420 per share. Though Musk has denied the allegations, removing him from Tesla could make severe impacts on the company.
And as we head into the weekend, we are still trying to get used to a significant change in the weather. Leah Hill is in the studio now with the latest. Leah?
Thanks, Parker. I do have a look at this cold front that is currently coming through our state. If you look out towards the Panhandle in Guyman, we do have this cold front. We are at negative 31 degrees colder in Guyman than what we were seeing yesterday. These past 24 hours, they're sitting at 50 degrees. Coming up, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the tropics. I've got some information about the rain chances and your game day forecast.
Thank you, Leah. Still to come on OU Nightly, OU hosts a world music concert on campus.
And this year's official Giving Day results are in. Stay with us.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. The results are in, and OU's Giving Day seems to be quite the gift. In just one day, the university raised more than $479,000. That total doubles last year's final amount, and it came from 2,279 donations. Around 450 students participated, along with 40 organizations.
It's just amazing to see so many different people come together. We had freshmen through seniors give. We had 5 different countries participate. We had people who don't typically work together really come together on a project. It's a really amazing experience to be a part of.
The proceeds from Giving Day will be used to fund scholarships and enhance the school's degree programs.
And if you're on campus this evening, you might hear some jazzy Indian music playing. The OU School of Music is hosting the Hindustani Music and Jazz Fusion Concert in Sharp Concert Hall and tonight in Catlett. The concert's part of the Masala World Music Series and will feature professional saxophonist Phil Scarf and Vivek Varani from the University of North Texas.
Could be a window into Hindustani music for people. And also, since we're playing a piece that fuses jazz and Indian music, they'll get to hear maybe something that's a little more familiar sounding melodically, because the composition we're playing is a jazzier kind of structure than the Hindustani music is.
Trying to diversify the offerings of the School of Music and contribute to the diversity of cultural experiences at the University of Oklahoma.
World music concerts come to OU a few times a semester, and tickets are $9 for adults and $5 for students at the door.
And still to come on OU Nightly, a daddy-daughter dance takes on a new meaning. See how Grandpa kicks it up a notch.
Quick look at the tropics. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Taking a live look outside, the clouds are starting to roll in our state. If you look in the Oklahoma City skycam, they are still seeing that sunshine, but here in Norman, the clouds are moving in ahead of this cold front that is going to stall, so we're not going to be feeling the effects of this cold front, unfortunately. So allergy index, you might be feeling a little bit on the sniffy side today. We do have grass and weeds are high for today, but the mold is remaining on the medium to low end. Now tonight, OU, the girls soccer team, they are taking on Texas Tech. So if you are going to be going out to the game, that starts at 7 p.m. Temperatures are going to be very nice. They're going to be sitting in the mid 60s. It is going to be a little cloudy, and we do have that very light wind for you tonight. Now coming up later, we do have those clouds are going to be sticking around all evening. Temperatures are going to be dropping to the 60s with a very light wind overall this evening across the state. We're going to drop to a low of 64 degrees. But if you look out towards the Panhandle, that's where they're going to be seeing the effects of that cold front that's going to be stalling out in their area. Their lows are going to be in the 40s. And then as you go out the door tomorrow for the game day, for the tailgates, we are going to be warming up to the mid 70s. Clouds are going to remain, we're going to have a few clouds in the sky overall. And then highs tomorrow, 75 in Oklahoma City, a little bit warmer out towards the Panhandle after that cold front moves through. So the tropics, there is currently Hurricane Rosa that is going to weaken and is going to bring with it some moisture to our area, which will fuel some rain chances coming up late next week. So we'll be keeping an eye on that for you. Going into your Saturday game day, it's going to be very comfortable. On Sunday, it's going to be a bit on the warmer side. We do have those mostly sunny skies. And then going into next week, we are going to be staying in the 80s for most of the week. Those clouds are going to be sticking around. And then Thursday and into Friday, that is when that cold front's going to be coming through. Another cold front, it is going to be dropping temperatures a bit, and we do see those rain chances for you on Friday. But overall, very nice, comfortable week coming up. Fall-like weather ahead.
Thank you, Leah. And how about a grandfather and granddaughter tap dancing duo? A 10-year-old from Massachusetts and her 72-year-old grandpa practiced for 6 weeks to nail down a tap routine, complete with a cartwheel. The dance earned them internet celebrity status and landed them an appearance on Good Morning America.
He must be in pretty good shape for that one. That's hard. I couldn't even tap, so good for him.
Yeah, I can't either. So. Well, that's it for news this Friday night, but don't go anywhere. Big Friday Sports is still on the way.
Our sports team gives you an extended look at what's happening in sports. Spencer Royce is here with more.
Thank you, Nicole. Today on Big Friday Sports, we will pick apart the OU and Baylor matchup that takes place on Saturday. Plus, the US of A is still battling hard with the Europeans for Ryder Cup bragging rights. Sports is coming right up. Welcome back to Big Friday Sports, where every Friday is bigger than the last one. I'm Spencer Royce, and he's Sam Brown.
Newsflash, it is still football season, so we're going to load you up with as much college football as you can handle. So let's get right into it, starting with the boys in Crimson and Cream right here in Norman. They're still undefeated, still putting up points in bunches, and now they're back in Big 12 play. Every team is gunning for OU's spot at the top of the conference, and on Saturday, the Baylor Bears will get their shot.
Players on this undefeated OU squad know that this matchup is not going to be one that you should take lightly. Baylor has some serious weapons at their disposal this year.
They've definitely got some weapons. I mean, we definitely got to be on our P's and Q's this game and trust the coaching points. And like starts Monday through Friday. I mean, having a great week of practice. I mean, just how you practice, ultimately how you're going to play. So, I mean, just having a great practice.
The Sooners have an interesting matchup ahead of them, and we're going to need a little help to break it down. Collin Kennedy and Madeline Roberts join us for a preview. Guys, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited because I have a very special announcement for you all that I'll get to right after we break down this game. Oh, I got him on the hook, Madeline. The old cliffhanger.
You fooled him.
That's
you got
television
him.
at its finest. But let's go ahead and get to the game before we start getting hate mail. All right, OU Baylor, keys to success for the Sooners for them to get the W at home.
I think the Sooners need to contain Charlie Brewer.
I agree.
Named the starting quarterback after splitting time with Jalen McClendon. This kid has an arm. He can throw and he can run. So the secondary needs to look out for him for sure.
I'm going to go with keeping the receiving core contained for the Bears. Obviously, the Sooners secondary struggles with receivers of stature. We saw that in Hakeem Butler and Iowa State. but Baylor's got 2 or 3. I mean, it's going to be hard to make sure that all of those weapons are contained, but the Sooner secondary will be tasked with that problem. So, score predictions, what do you have?
You know, Collin, last year Sooners won a close one in Waco, 49-41. I think we see a similar result tomorrow. I think Sooners win 45-35.
I'm going to go 42-24. The spread on this game is 23.5. I think the Baylor Bears cover that, but of course, I think Oklahoma gets the win in the end at home. All right, here comes the announcement. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, from 8 to 10 a.m. on Game Day U, where we talk all college football and Sooner football, one of the Sooner greats is joining us, the legendary Joe Washington, one of the greatest Oklahoma running backs of all time, will be our special guest, and he'll talk his career, what he did in the NFL, and a whole lot more. And then, of course, we'll cover all the rest of college football happenings throughout the day. So I'm so excited. I know Madeline is too.
Oh, so excited.
We're going to have a blast, and you should join us 8 to 10 a.m. on OU TV, Game Day U. Make sure you watch. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, it's a big game here as OU's looking to get back to their dominant offensive ways. What's your score prediction for this one?
All right, Collin had a big prediction. I'm going to go 38-27 Sooners. No more blowout picks on my side until I see OU destroy a team.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's a little tough to gauge OU's defense based on last week with what Army is doing offensively, but I think we get a better idea of how good they are after this one. What about you?
Well, I think the Sooners will come out with a win as well. Score 49-38. The Sooners offense will get back on track, and the defense will have some storms to weather with that Baylor receiving corps.
Yeah, they will. Meanwhile, little brother, Oklahoma State up north, is on the road this weekend against Kansas. But a lot of the attention is actually being taken away from the game following Mike Gundy's controversial remarks earlier this week.
For those of you who do not know, Gundy threatened to remove player availability to the press for the rest of the season if any media members were to ask about players leaving the football program. Maybe Gundy is serious, or maybe it's just a classic PR move in order to take all the attention away from the fact that Oklahoma State got absolutely scorched last weekend by Texas Tech. You can't forget about that.
Yeah.
And the Sooners aren't the only ones playing football this weekend. Sam, take us through what is happening across the Big 12 tomorrow.
Well, you just talked about Kansas State and the Pokes. Their kickoff is at 11 a.m. The only top 25 matchup in the Big 12 this weekend, number 12 West Virginia, number 25 Texas Tech. That's at 11 a.m. also, and lots of points coming in that one. And then finally, the maybe back Longhorns.
Who knows?
Who knows? They're on the road. They take on Kansas State at 2:30. Still to come on Big Friday Sports, our very own Kyle Payne takes us through Marquise Hollywood Brown's emergence and how another star wide receiver has helped him along the way. Stick around.
Well, welcome back to OU Nightly. I am very excited about this game. I'm going to be at the game. I'm sure you're going to be there as well. But in terms of the weather, we are going to be in the mid-70s throughout the game. It's going to be beautiful. We are going to have a few clouds in the sky, but overall, perfect weather for this game. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Leah. There's been a ton of hype around this guy since the start of the season, and it's safe to say that he just lives up to that.
Yeah, that's true. So just as we promised, Kyle Payne takes us to Hollywood.
Winds up, down the field, Hollywood! Touchdown! Sooners, 77 yards! Who is this kid?
Marquise Hollywood Brown has seemingly come out of nowhere. The JUCO transfer sees his new nickname as more than his new persona.
People look at Hollywood like flashy, I look at it, as just a symbol for my hometown,
Typically seen as a deep ball threat, his role within the offense this season has transformed him into an all-around weapon.
He's just more complete right now. He's not just the deep ball guy. He's catching things underneath. He's making some people miss. He's making competitive catches. He's playing well for us.
He wants to play at the next level, just like anybody else does. So he's got to prove he can do those things, come across the middle, catch competitive balls, not just be a one-trick pony type of guy. And he's got to do those things, and he's doing them well right now.
Hollywood isn't the only star receiver on this offense. Sooner fans can't forget about his partner in crime, CeeDee Lamb, and their relationship on and off the field.
Having this man, it's just, as long as I got him, we good.
How sweet.
We compliment each other. It's great having him on the field with me, and he like my other half.
Already this season, he has broken the single-half record with 189 yards. He's racked up over 400 yards through 4 games and looks to cement his name in Sooner history. Kyle Payne, Big Friday Sports.
Thanks, Kyle. A former OU quarterback by the name of Baker Mayfield, may have heard of him, will make his first official start as an NFL QB this weekend against the Oakland and 3 Raiders. Get it? Because they haven't won yet?
Yeah, that's not bad, actually. After winning NFL Rookie of the Week and leading the Browns to a second-half comeback, everyone is wondering, how will Mayfield top that? The fans in Believeland have yet another reason to believe. Cleveland, yeah. And a lot of his teammates are all in on the former Heisman winner.
You know, he's a football player. You know, he's a football player. He's a guy that, you know, extremely confident, you know, and in those situations, you know, he didn't panic. You know, he stepped in and stepped up, and, you know, he did what his team needed him to do.
Well, we've spent the last 12 minutes or so shoving a bunch of OU football in your face, so let's switch it up a bit. After a couple weeks off, the women's golf team is at home for the first time all season in the Schooner Fall Classic. They're looking to pull off a strong result after finishing 8th out of 15 in the Minnesota Invitational earlier this month.
And after day 2 of Ryder Cup action, Europe leads 5-3 due to a clean sweep of today's action out on the course. Francesco Molinari and Tommy Fleetwood put away the Patrick Reed and Tiger Woods duo with ease, plus Rory McIlroy and Ian Poulter proved to be a fierce combo in the afternoon. This was the first clean sweep of a foursome ever for the Europeans. The Americans will look to regroup for their day 3 action, and if you want to watch them live, you'll have to wait until 1:10 in the a.m. to do so.
Sheesh. Not bad. That's a little early.
Or a little late, depending on
where you are in the world, yeah. OU Texas, meanwhile, is just 1 week away, and the two sides are getting the trash talking started a little early this year. The OU football account posted a tweet about how OU is unstoppable when we roll out our 87,000 strong.
Then a Texas fan tried being edgy, and he popped off with the attendance numbers that the University of Texas can provide if their stadium's a little bigger. And sure enough, OU football came back like a revolving door. They said try selling it out every game.
Bam.
Honestly, that killed me when I read it. I thought it was hilarious. Clapback season
so
from
easy.
the OU football clapping back like that, man.
Shout out to the media team.
Well, that's it for the dynamic duo here at the desk. Alongside Sam Brown, I'm Spencer Royce.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Big Friday Sports. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Now, we know you'll miss us, and we'll miss you.
That hurts.
Yeah, so until next time, enjoy this video to get you ready for tomorrow's game.